How did I build my back? Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. It's just one of those things where, I always get people who are like, wow, Jason, your back is on point. Your back is crazy. You've got a big V taper. It's thick, it's dense, it's wide, and you're doing this, you're almost 50 years old. Okay, so what is your back secret? And then the funny thing is, when people watch me do some of my back stuff, I get people who are always like, 0, no reps. It's always, they have this critique, and people have done that for years with literally all of my back training, and they're like, oh, your back training is terrible. But I'm just like, but yeah, look at my back. So the thing I would say to people is when you look at it, there's actually a method to my madness. And I use only basic exercises. I'm going to be very clear on that. I have very rarely at any point in recent years, as my back has continued to grow and develop, had access to anything but free weight type stuff and body weight movements. That's really all that I use. Okay? I don't have any machines. I don't have any cables. And I don't knock those things. I have some machines, but they're all lower body. I don't have any for my upper body. Okay? And yet, again, look at my lats. Okay, look at my back, and you'll see me do a lat spread here later in this. And the reality, pull-ups. Pull-ups are king for width. And the thing is, everyone worries about pull-ups, and I always do them wide grip. People are like, oh, you're not going all the way up, but I'm going all the way up for the lats. Okay, so notice that I don't rotate the shoulders under. I don't do any of that because I use a wide grip. All I'm concerned with is the hang and then my scapula touching. So as long as I go up high enough for my scapula to touch and I get really strong at them, right? Because I'm over 200 pounds. I'm 207 to 210 usually at the moment, at least the time this footage is made. I can crank out 10, 12 reps with a 25 from a dead hang. I've done heavier, obviously. But the thing is, that works. It absolutely works. And I get the best mind-muscle connection in my lats when I do it that way. And that's the thing that I would say to people with this. If I feel my lats contract intensely and I have progressive overload and I'm putting them through the range of motion, or at least most of it, for that muscle, okay, keep that in mind for that muscle. Yes, you can work other muscles and things in the shoulders and other stuff by rotating up higher, but it's not really putting any more load on the lats. And that's the point. I'm doing it as a lat exercise, and that wide grip, it's going to be a little different range of motion. And I've got longer arms, and it works great. And that's kind of the point. Like, in fact, since I started doing that, my back got wider and wider and wider. It is only improved by doing that. And it's kind of one of those things where I would say that is where I feel the most lat. Okay? So I want to be clear. That's where I feel the most lat. And if I feel it the most there and it grows and it works, what's the problem? And it's kind of funny. You'll get people say, well, your back would be even bigger if you did it. Do you have proof of that? My back already overshadows much of the rest of my physique. I mean, you're literally telling a person who is almost back dominant in their upper body that you think they should do something different. Well, maybe I should be figuring out how to do something different for my arms. I'm just saying. All right. But it works very, very well for me. And again, it puts it into that lengthened position. But keeping in mind, I don't worry about the upper back being developed from pull-ups. Why? Because I'm going to do rows. And rows will handle most of your other upper back development. And with rows, it is the key. So anytime I do rows, I don't do the same partials everyone else does. It's kind of the opposite for me. So there's my lat spread. You see my whole back top to bottom is developed, right? Even my rectors, because I deadlift over 600. But when you do rows, I row to my chest. I don't row to my stomach, and I get a full stretch at the bottom. So for me, rows are always done with a full range of motion. Now, do I like a wide variety of rows? Yes. I like all sorts of rows. Seal rows, dumbbell rows, inverted rows. I think rows in general are great. Okay? I don't think there's really a bad type of row to do. They're just a good basic exercise. But when it comes down to it, I like a basic barbell row like that. Notice I do them without straps. I do them strict. Can I cheat and go heavier? Can I row off the floor? I've done sets of 12 with 250 on pin lace, but with a little bit of cheat and then resetting on the floor. All right? But I feel that just that normal bent over row gives me just as much back activation as anything. I just take sets to failure, and I take it through a full range of motion. Okay? Gives me a lot of extra back development. Gives me that thickness, that fullness, helps with that upper back, right? All that mid trap and everything, those rhomboids. Okay, I get all of that from it. All right. Also, what else do I do? I like pullovers, and I feel like pullovers have helped kind of bring my chest and back kind of to their own thing. I've been doing them more and more because I feel like they work the long head of the tricep a lot for me, and I need more arms. But back to the point, they're a good lat exercise. And the thing is, if you're looking for another angle to kind of work your lats and, in mid traps and all that stuff, right? Pullovers are really good. I like doing them with a plate mainly because of the dumbbells I have. I don't have any fixed dumbbells, are all adjustable. I worry about a plate hitting my face, right? And them slipping off there can be problematic with the clamps. So I just do plates, and I do really, really high reps. I mean, I go heavier. Sometimes I've done them with, a pair of 45s pinched together too. But I mean, even here I'm doing like sets of 20 plus with, with a 55. Okay. I still get a good pump in that area. That also I feel like helps, but it's still a basic exercise, right? Still a basic exercise. And I like it. I feel like, again, if you want to add another dimension there, I think pull-ups are really going to be king for width. I think rows for that thickness because, again, lats versus just overall all the other musculature of the back. I feel like that's a good combination. If you just get really good at pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, and then even barbell rows, I think you're going to be in a really good place. Okay, I think those are king. Now, if we want to fill in the rest of like the pullovers, can be extremely valuable. And I really like deadlifts, I love the conventional deadlift. Now, do I think the conventional deadlift is the best back exercise? No. I have had smaller lats than I do now, even with a slightly bigger deadlift. But do I feel like the lower back, the erectors, maybe all the traps, does the deadlift help with all of that? Yeah, absolutely. Do I feel like it helps contribute to the rest of lats and everything? Yeah, I feel that it does, at least in terms of isometric strength. But I would never really use the deadlift as a primary lat builder. So I do want to be clear there. But just in terms of adding, again, another dimension to your back, just making your overall back thicker, I feel like deadlifts absolutely do bring a lot to the table. So I feel like if you're really pursuing complete back development, some type of deadlift. I mean, at sumo, not so much. Conventional is good. Romanian deadlifts, RDLs, can actually fill this role really effectively too, if you like doing those. But I feel like pull-ups, rows, I think particularly just a basic barbell row, deadlifts, and then pullovers, I feel like that combination can give pretty much anyone an absolutely epic back if you get good at all of them. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.